Okay, thank you, Joy. And we've just been told that President Trump is touring the area right now. As you can see, he is live in Cookeville, Tennessee. So much devastation in Putnam County and Cookeville right now. So many deaths, and the president is here. He's already declared a federal disaster in Tennessee, which opens up the area for donations, from the government. The government will be opening federal disaster offices that people can apply for. That will be for Putnam County and also neighboring Smith County as well. He hasn't said anything about Nashville, but Tennessee is declared a public disaster area, so that obviously will include the damage that was done in Nashville. The president's going to be here for a while. Let's check in with Joy Dukes. Joy Dukes is right there. Joy?
Well, Calvin, yeah, this area is definitely the hardest hit area. We can see President Trump right here standing on what was the foundation of a home. He's now just surveying the land, just seeing cars completely ruined, lots of trees snapped in half, large trees, lots of space where homes were once standing now just reduced to rubble and wood. So it looks like he's just talking with his agents over there. I'm just kind of walking through what happened and what they can do to just fix the situation, how they can help people in this area. And we've been seeing a lot of people who are just excited. While we were riding around earlier today, we saw several billboards that said, "Our president cares." And that's from people in this community who were eager and excited to see him here. We spoke to Rodney Pitts earlier this morning. We interviewed him for about an hour, and he had kind of talked about his daughter, Erin Kimberlin, who was one of the 18 who were killed here in Putnam County when those tornadoes touched down. And her son, her 2-year-old son, Sawyer, and her husband also were killed because of those tornadoes. But he had mentioned that he just wants and hopes that when President Trump visits today, that he recognizes that they want to see him here.
Governor Bill Lee.
And we see Governor Bill Lee is also here with them as they serve. So we are continuing to cover this, and we will hear from Rodney Pitts in just a few. And we'll have an update for you later. Calvin, I'll toss it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Joy. And once again, President Trump in Cookeville, Tennessee right now, surveying the damage. As you could see, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee was also with him. He flew into Nashville with Senators Lamar Alexander and Marsha Blackburn, but we don't know if they actually accompanied him to the Cookeville area. Now, the president, he canceled a trip after this one to the CDC offices in Atlanta. Let's go to President Trump is holding a news conference right now from Cookeville. Let's join that right now live.
Do whatever you can do. It's tough. A lot of them have lost people within the family. One family got entirely wiped out. There was one case, though. I heard a young man an 8-year-old boy was ripped out, flown to a certain area, and dropped off at the street 2 or 3 blocks away. And they found him walking. And he said, "I just flew in the air." And he was walking down the street 2 blocks away from his home. And how did his parents do?
We're not sure exactly how they turned out.
They were found deceased.
They were deceased.
The only surviving member of the household lost his sibling as well.
So it took him, and he said, "I was carried by the air away from my house." He came back, but his
house overlaid, dropped in the neighborhood back behind.
He was over there, and his parents were killed.
And sister.
And his sister. So we're going to go see some of the folks. Thank you.
Press, stay where you are. Everybody press, stay where you are.
As you can tell, a lot of things going on happening as they happen, and we're going to bring those to you live whenever we find them happening. The president talking in Cookeville about what he has seen so far, what people have told him about riding out the storm. There's a whole lot of emotion going on with folks in Cookeville right now. In fact, all the way back over to Nashville. It's just been utter devastation with people trying to put their lives back together. And the president came down here from Washington, D.C. to take part in that and to listen to some of the stories. He's already declared Tennessee a federal disaster area, so that means that federal agencies will be coming in to that area just north of Chattanooga. to assist people as they put their lives back together. As you could tell, President Trump landed in Nashville about 45 minutes ago. We know that Senators Lamar Alexander and Marsha Blackburn were on Air Force One with the president. The commander-in-chief is here to see the damage left behind by a series of tornadoes that hit 24 people. He landed at the Berry Field Air National Guard Base, which is located at the Nashville International Airport. He boarded Marine One and took off for Cookeville, Tennessee, almost immediately afterwards. Let's check in with Claudia Coco. She is live for us in Nashville right now. Claudia, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Calvin, President Donald Trump arrived here around 10:05 this morning. He was promptly greeted. Right
now we're going to check in with Eyewitness News reporter Joy Dukes. She's in Cookeville, Tennessee, where the president just landed in Marine One. He got to Nashville just a few minutes ago, immediately boarded Marine One, which is a helicopter ride all the way to Cookeville, Tennessee, that suffered most of the damage that came up from these tornadoes. Let's check in with Joy right now.
Well, Calvin, yeah, we just watched that helicopter fly over this area here. Meanwhile, people here on the ground are assessing the damage to their homes and just trying to see what they can salvage at this point. And there are families on the other side of town who don't have anything they can salvage because their loved ones passed away. Now, we spoke with Clint Pitts and his father, Rodney Pitts, who are reporting live in Cookeville. Joy Dukes, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
As cleanup and recovery continues in Middle Tennessee, families and friends continue to mourn the 21 people lost to tornadoes that hit the area. The most devastating tornado was an EF4 tornado that hit in the heart of the Cookeville area, claiming the lives of 18 people. 3 of the victims were family, Aaron, Josh, and Sawyer Kimberlin. Josh Kimberlin was a student at McMinn Central High School. We talked to a relative of the family and we'll hear from them in the next half hour. Middle Tennessee's need for help is being answered here at home. The Sequatchie County Chamber of Commerce and the county's 911 Center are both accepting donations until noon tomorrow to help relief efforts in Putnam County. One of the directors say they felt that it was only right to help out their neighbors after Sequatchie County was devastated by a tornado 4 years ago. To make sure all of the needs are met, they called Putnam County and asked exactly what they needed.
One of the things most requested was pack and plays, pack and goes, because everybody's staying in a shelter area and no place to put the babies.
Over the past 2 days, they collected about $20,000 worth of supplies. A group will head up to Putnam County tomorrow at noon to drop everything off and to help out as needed. They'll open back up for donations on Monday and say they won't stop until the need is over. This weekend, the Redemption Point Church in Ottawa is collecting hygiene products, baby items, and other things for those in need across the Nashville area. You can drop off donations at 3831 Ottawa Ringgold Road. Tomorrow, they'll collect items between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. On Sunday, they'll do so from 1 to 4 p.m. As residents living in counties impacted by the storms try to put their lives back together, 2 mobile units have been deployed from the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security to help people who lost driver's licenses and photo identifications in the storm. Administrators say the fees to get duplicate license and photo IDs are being waived.